Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool and welcome back to class 8th science chapter number 3, that is synthetic fibers and plastics. So in my previous videos I discussed everything about synthetic fibers. So how synthetic fibers are made, what are the different types of synthetic fibers and what are the different properties or characteristics of synthetic fibers. In today's class, I am going to talk about everything on plastic. See here, plastic is not a new word for us. In our day-to-day life, we use plastic everywhere, for anything, for everything, right? So can you all tell me, where do you find plastics around us, right? See, the chalk piece holder is made up of plastic, right? We can't imagine our life without plastic, actually speaking, right? Say plastics are everywhere. Say we find plastics in our kitchens, right? We have plastic plates, or I can say we have plastic utensils, plastic spoons are there, plastic vessels are there, plastic containers are there, plastic boxes. You know, in our kitchen, if you go and search your kitchen, half of the items you will find of plastic, right? And then we have something like plastic bags, plastic carry bags. We have different varieties of plastic carry bags, thin plastic, thick plastic, right? So all are plastics. And now not only that, we have plastic furniture, right? Plastic chairs are there, plastic tables are there. So lots of plastic furnitures, plastic dustbins, and whatever it is. Plastic can also be used in various vehicles. Okay, say the covering of a bike is a plastic, and the interiors of the car is plastic. So plastic is used in vehicles, all sorts of vehicles like buses, bikes, right? And then aeroplanes, cars, so everywhere, ships. So all vehicles do have plastic. Their interior is made up of a good quality plastic, right? So without plastic, I can say we cannot imagine our life. But the plastic is very, very dangerous, and this plastic is not natural. Okay, so this plastic is man-made material. Okay, so man has artificially synthesized this particular plastic by conducting lots of chemical reactions. So this plastic was invented in a lab. God has not created this plastic. It is discovered in chemical laboratories by various chemical reactions conducted by man. Right? So I can say anything that is artificially created in the laboratory is always dangerous for the environment. Right? So this plastic is also very, very dangerous to the environment. So why it is dangerous to environment? Why it causes pollution? All of them we will discuss in the next video. So now let us understand the two different types of plastic. So before I go for different types of plastic, let me tell you what actually plastic has. Okay, so what is the chemicals present inside the plastic? You know what? Like synthetic fibers, plastic is a polymer. Plastic is also a polymer. Okay, I told you synthetic fibers are made up of polymers, and you know the meaning of polymer, right? So polymer is what? It's a long chain molecule which is made up of small chemical substance. Okay, say plastic can be, I will use two new words here, try to understand. Plastic can be a linear polymer, or it can be cross-linked polymer. See, a new words I am introducing you. Linear polymer, cross-linked polymer. So try to understand what do you mean by linear polymer and what do you mean by cross-linked polymer. See, linear polymer in the sense, see, I already told you, polymer is some long chemical molecule, okay, long chain chemical, very big long chemical is called polymer, and this polymer is made up of so many small chemicals, okay. So this is one small chemical, this is another smaller one, this is another small chemical. So many small chemicals will connect with one another and forms a long chain, that itself is called polymer. And if that polymer is there in a straight line form, like if it is a long linear means what? Straight chain, right? So if the polymer structure is long and linear, then we call that polymer as linear polymer. Okay, so linear polymer we can diagrammatically represent something like this. Okay, so linear polymer means what? If the polymer is straight, okay, then it is called as linear. Linear means what? Straight. Okay, if the polymer is long and straight, okay, then it is linear. Now what do you mean by cross-linked polymer? Just observe the diagram. So this is one long polymer, okay, and this is another line, okay, and now there are connections between this chain and this chain, okay, so there are connection between this chain and this chain. So such a structure if you have in a polymer, then we call it as cross-linked polymer. Cross-linked, there are links, okay, between one polymer chain and another polymer chain, okay, but here see, one chain is not connected with another chain. Plastic may have so many polymers like this, but there is no connection between one polymer and another polymer. Remember, say this is a plastic, right? Say this is made up of so many polymers of same kind of polymers, many are there, okay, but they are straight, there is no connection, then we call such a polymer as linear polymer. But between the polymeric chains, if you have a links, okay, so these are actually chemical bonds, chemical attractions if present between one linear polymer and another linear polymer, then we call it as cross-linked polymer. Okay, so plastic can be a linear polymer or it can have cross-linked polymer also, right? So I think the meanings of linear polymer and cross-linked polymer is clear, and now I will go for two types of plastics. So their definitions and examples are very important. Concentrate. See guys, there are two types of plastics. Mainly there are two types of plastics. Okay, fine. So what are the two types of plastic? First one is thermoplastic. This is very, very important. Thermoplastics. Okay, and the other one is thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics. Okay, so very, very important to note it down. Thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Let us understand what do you mean by thermoplastic. The plastics, these are the plastics whose shape can be changed. Shape can be changed on heating. Or you can also say they become soft on heating. Okay, such plastics are called thermoplastic. Okay, so when you heat a plastic, if its shape is changing quickly, if it is becoming very soft, okay, then such plastic is called as thermoplastic. Clear? Examples for thermoplastics are polythene, and we have something like PVC. Full form of PVC is polyvinyl chloride. Okay, so you will study about this in higher classes. So just remember the full form. Poly, P means poly, V is vinyl, C is chloride. Okay, so polythene. Poly means many. Poly means what? Many. Ethene is a type of chemical. Okay, say many ethene molecules. This is one ethene. This is another ethene. This is the third ethene. Ethene is a name of some chemical, guys. Okay, so one ethene connected to another, second one connected to third one connected to fourth one, like that. Many ethenes are there. That is the reason we call that plastic as polythene. Okay, like that. Polyvinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is a small chemical. So many vinyl chlorides are connected with one another. So we call with the term polyvinyl chloride. Okay, so both are the examples of thermoplastic. So where is thermoplastic used? Thermoplastic is used mainly to make toys. Okay, and it can also be used to make kitchen utensils. Kitchen utensils, or just take it as containers. Some tumblers, glasses, plastic spoons, or some containers. Okay, take it as containers. So you take toys, plastic toys that you find in a home, the old toys, you take it and you try to burn it. Don't burn it, it's very dangerous. Okay, don't do this at home. Just imagine, in case if you burn that, what would happen? Its shape will be changed and also it becomes very much soft, right? So such plastics are called thermoplastics. So the definition is very important. The plastics whose shape can be changed on heating. So simply their shape will not be changed. When you heat, their shape becomes different and they become soft on heating. So such plastics are thermoplastics. And now coming to thermosetting plastic, it is just opposite to whatever we discussed so far. See, what I can write here is the shape of plastic cannot be changed on heating. Okay, so it will not become soft. It's a very hard type of plastic. Plastic is actually very hard. So on heating it will not become soft and you cannot change the shape. Once you give a particular shape for the plastic, it is fixed. You can't change it again. Okay, so on heating if it becomes soft, then you can again change the shape, right? But that's not possible in this case. It will maintain that shape for a lifetime. Okay, on heating that plastic will break, but it will not become soft. Okay, so such plastics are called as thermosetting plastics. So the examples of thermosetting plastic is Bakelite, okay, and melamine. Bakelite and melamine. Okay, see here, Bakelite can be used for making switches, and wires. Okay, so you must have seen the switch or you must have seen that electrical wires, right? Say the electrical wires are made up of copper, but you will have a insulation, right? So that insulation is a plastic. So why will we give insulation for the wire? It is to avoid from getting shocks. It is to avoid the leakage of current, right? We have to be safe when we hold that electric wires. So that's the reason these copper and silver electric wires are insulated with plastic covering. So that plastic is which type of plastic? It is a kind of bakelite. Okay, fine. And coming to melamine, you know what? Melamine can tolerate heat. It can tolerate heat. So that's why it is used for making cooking utensils. Cooking utensils. Okay, so in our kitchen we have lots of plastic cooking utensils. We call it as fiber cooking utensils. Fiber plates we have. We serve hot food on fiber plates. That particular fiber will not get melted even after placing hot food, is because that plastic has heat tolerancy. It can tolerate heat. Okay, on giving little amount of heat, nothing will happen for such plastics. They will not get melted up that easily. They are very hard. I told you they are very, very hard. So that's the reason this melamine type of plastic is used for making cooking utensils. Okay, but plastic is very dangerous. We can't use plastic utensils in the kitchen. Remember, okay? So you can't eat hot food on plastic plates. It's too dangerous. When this plastic goes into a human body, it leads to lots of diseases. So plastic is actually a cancer causing agent. So we have to stay away from using plastic, especially in the kitchen. Okay, so this is all about the two types of plastic, thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. So definition is important, examples are important, and where they are used, that is also important. So that's all about today's class, and in my tomorrow's class I will talk about characteristics or properties of plastic. So why do we use these many plastics everywhere for everything? It's because they do have some special properties that makes the things more convenient and comfortable, right? So let us discuss those special properties of plastic in my next video. Thank you so much. Do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. So guys, now we will discuss some special characteristics of plastics. Okay, characteristics of plastic. So why plastic is so very important? We know plastic is dangerous to the environment, right? But then why do we use plastic every day? Why we cannot imagine our life without plastic? It is because it has some special properties which makes the things become more convenient and comfortable, okay, to use. So that's the reason plastic cannot be avoided. We know that it's harmful, but then it cannot be avoided is because of these special characters. So let us discuss about those special characters or properties. First property, very, very important, plastics do not react. Okay, so they do not react with air, water, etc. Okay, so there will not be any chemical reaction between plastic and air, plastic and water, etc. So they are very much safe to use. I mean, you can use the plastic for so many days. Say for example, iron articles, when you keep it outside, after few days, it will get damaged. You will find the rust, which we call it as corrosion. Right? So in other words, what I say is plastic do not corrode. Plastics do not corrode. Corrode in the sense they do not spoil. Okay, so they do not spoil. Right? So for days together, when you keep the plastic outside, exposing it to air, water, nothing will happen to them. Right? They are very much safe. It's because they do not undergo any reaction. Right? So this is one important property that you have to remember. And now second one is it do not absorb. It do not absorb water, isn't it? Say plastic containers we use, so many plastic articles we use. So these plastics do not absorb water, right? So that's the reason when you keep these things outside, even if it rains, nothing would happen for that particular article because it will not absorb water and it quickly dries. right? So that is another property. And one important property is plastic is very strong, okay, and plastic is very lightweight. They are not that much heavy, right? You can lift plastic chair very easily, but lifting a iron chair is very difficult. You feel iron chair being more heavier than the plastic chair, right? So plastic is lightweight and it is very strong also. Breaking plastic is difficult. Yes, there are some bad quality plastics which you can break it easily, but normally speaking, if it is a good quality plastic, like if it is a thermosetting type of a plastic, you can't break it that easily. Okay, so it is very strong and lightweight. And the other important property is it is durable. So what do you mean by durable? Many times I told you, you can use this plastic for more days, for more years, right? They don't spoil after some time, but then you can use it for so many days. Okay, so they have lots of life. So that's what we mean by durable. And easy to maintain. They are easy to maintain. Okay, so maintenance is easy. And very important thing is they are poor conductors of electricity. Poor conductors of electricity, right? So they do not carry electric current. Electric current cannot be passed through plastic. So that is the reason these copper wires, silver wires, whichever we use it for electricity conduction, are insulated with plastic. Okay, so when you take a wire, inside that copper will be there, and that is what actually conducts electricity, but that copper is covered by a plastic thing, right? So here plastic protects us from getting shocks. Okay, so that's the reason. Since it's poor conductor of electricity, it can be used for insulating these copper wires or silver wires. Fine. So that's all about the various characteristics of plastic. It is because of these special properties, it's very much convenient for the people to use plastic, right, in a comfortable way and in a convenient way. So that's the reason we have got so much of comfort and convenience on using this plastic. So we cannot eliminate this plastic from our lives because we are so much used to those comforts and convenient things. Okay. So we all know that this is dangerous, but still we cannot 100% eliminate plastic from our lives, right? So what we can do? See, it's very dangerous to environment. We cannot eliminate plastic 100% from our life. Then what we can do? We can use the plastic in a limited way. Use the plastic whenever it is necessary, and after use, you have to try recycling the plastic. All that we will discuss in my next class. Okay, so revise carefully. See you in the next class. Do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.